sales reps cannot leverage the personal relationship anymore because face-to-face meetings are very restricted, and that's pretty much a global trend. They need to be focused on the best channels to reach the customers, but at the same time, everybody is pretty much employing the same channels. I've heard stories of doctors receiving 10 to 20 webinar invitations per day, which means a pure push sales technique will not help you to cut through the sea of digital contents and be relevant or even be noticed. It really means that it has to have very high degree of personalization. We are talking about each HCPs as an individual, and we have to activate each HCP the right channel at the right time, the right frequency, with the right content, and especially important, the right sequencing. So each HCP has individual journeys.
There's a very human approach to how we start to build trust with a brand, how we get influenced towards making an action or an activity towards a brand. And part of that was missing in that sequential approach, because physician was treated as somebody sitting on that pedestal with a very needs are around data and information, very scientifically vetted and compliant, whereas there are same humans. So I think the data strategy coming to influencing your content strategy to the insight strategy and all the way up to that activation started to get revisit from that human marketing approach angle, where yes, compliance play a big role, but continue that same intertwining of treating physicians as humans. So you are able to influence them and earn their trust, just like the way we give our trust to a brand.
Agile analytics, but it's how to accelerate, again, that time for decision making. And look at it as three components to it to make it successful. So first, you need the right platforms, and no need to go into that, but the data platforms that enable real-time querying of data, being able to address questions with data insights in real time, that capability is fundamental. You need to have those kind of platforms. And then second is people, but this is around the analytic consulting capabilities that you bring together, people who can facilitate discussions amongst decision makers, whether the business leaders, marketers, sales heads, channel, all of those groups who can facilitate and enable those folks to make data-driven decisions off the insights. And then the third, which is this part of what comes into the term of agile analytics, is this concept of agile. How do you accelerate through a process that delivery of insights and facilitate the actions that leaders will take on those decisions?
One of the things that's become very important with analytics that goes beyond having an infrastructure, but being able to enable it in an organization, I think calls for a refinement in analytics as a competency. I think if you look at the people who really practice and implement analytics well, you find that they spend almost as much time with stakeholders in defining the objective of the analytics, as much as they spend time in implementing the methodologies and carrying it forward. And I think what you're finding now is in a lot of organizations, there's a lot of production. The factory is very busy. But when you do surveys to find out how effective that work has been, the response is often lukewarm. And I think this speaks to why it's very important, on top of everything everybody said, and the more effective data warehouse and technology is, I think as practitioners, it's become important for us to be sitting at the table, to be getting much more articulate on the objective and whether that objective is correct, and helping the organization be efficient in the use of the analytics that it has invested in.
augmented analytics become a lot more relevant and timely. So while your one flow of analytics may not be giving you the desired predictability or forecasting accuracy, you are able to rely on other swim lanes of your analytics where you are able to see the dots being connected across different swim lanes of data sets. What are they delivering? What is changing? It still will not be real time, but at least it lands you into a higher level of accuracy if you are able to do that augmenting of analytics by connecting dots across different constituents of data that otherwise traditionally we were not looking at.
We need to be close to the business, close to for example, we're talking about agile teams where the multifunctional team can connect very, very quickly. For that, you need the data and analytics organization or a person to be embedded into the business, whether it's the market or the brand, because they need to know the situation and understanding of the latest business challenges and reacting fast to it. And it should not be an isolated, centralized organization only, flying to the next possible big projects. That no longer works. And it's really, I do believe that an embedded organizational setup is the only way to go.